that. Then they came together at the end and all discussed what they did. You know, how did this work for you? What worked well? What didn't? What would have been better? What wouldn't, you know? There was one group that had made their own garden because they needed food and they realized that. And some of the others, I guess, were going to starve to death because they were thinking they'd go to McDonald's, not realizing there was none then. But it was a great learning experience, and they worked together to do this. And those types of things, we need to see more of that. Creativity, be creative. And I know sometimes that's hard to come up with something. So this summer, while you have some free time, plan some things like that. Go through and look on some websites and get some ideas.
So I was going to say, there are so many websites.
Yes.
If you just go on education.com, I can't even, there's so many of them.
Yes.
Teachers Pay Teachers has things like that. And just input the information that you're wanting to do. You can find the whole lesson plan already even
Yes.
printed out for you.
Yes.
You just have to get the supply.
And it supplements. I think a lot of times for us, we're so bound with our curriculum that we want to get our curriculum done, and I get that. I mean, I've taught, so I understand that. But there's sometimes where we need to get creative and utilizing the material that's in our curriculum, but finding another way to present it to the kids. It's going to get their attention. I know Sherry did some different things this year that she did with the kids.
One thing you can do is if you know that you're going to have a day where it's like math, for example, all review.
Yes.
Use that time.
Yes.
Instead of doing your review worksheet, don't do the worksheet that day.
Right.
Use that math class, it's all review anyway. Do a review using team collaboration or
Yes.
small group collaboration.
Yes.
Use that time.
Yes. But you as the teacher, you can't just sit at your desk and do nothing. You've got to be walking around because you don't want them to be teaching each other something inaccurately or whatever. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
What Mark and I do is one thing I do too a lot of times, like you said, review days. We take different one-vowel words or two-vowel words,
Yes.
and we mix them up to make a sentence. So it's a question mark, an exclamation, all that we do in reading. But we break them up into groups, and they have to put the sentences together.
Awesome. That's great.
But that makes them do visual. They're student-led.
Yes.
Then we incorporate, I know I did this year like in Merlot. I incorporated that after they do, then we have people at the board trying to draw visual.
Ah,
So
there you
they
go.
get really excited about that.
Covers different mediums. That's good.
We incorporated that this year. They really like that.
That's good.
Student-led.
That's good. And so we need to gear ourselves to try and incorporate something like that for each unit. One thing a unit, okay? Or, however long, maybe you don't go in units, maybe you go in chapters, or maybe you go in something, but come up with something to incorporate more of those things. And while you're summertime and you have time on your hands and you're sitting there surfing the web by the pool with nothing else better to do, right? But don't be surfing on your float in the pool, because if you drop it in there, you might have your hair or whatever. Okay.
As a parent, because like one thing we did was we had our kids pretend like they were surgeons.
Yes,
And they did
that was
contractions.
awesome.
So, I sent out a memo saying, do I have any nurses or parents that can get surgical? And we did. We got the surgical footies, the hats,
Yes.
the masks, the gloves, and then what they had to do was they had to cut the contraction, the word, and then they had to paste it together with a Band-Aid. And there were some that were getting lawsuits. Remember, we were like, you're going to get a lawsuit because that was wrong. And they had to reopen it back up. But we had them in little groups, and they loved it.
It was
They loved
awesome.
And our parents were all into that. What do
Yes.
you need? What do you need? We'll get this.
Miss Patton had them all dressed up in little
Yeah.
surgical things, scrubs and the hats and all that stuff and little things on their feet, and they were all into it.
And they all learned their contractions
Yes.
that day very quickly.
Yes, and that's the kinds of things when you incorporate fun, doing those things, it's still a learning experience. They're going to remember it because they had fun doing it, something different. So do some things like that if you can.
Back to accreditation, did we get final approval on that?
For accreditation, we definitely have our accreditation, definitely have that. We're under review as always, and they're going to come in and probably this year and do some review as well on some different topics and see some things, that list of things that they gave us to do, to fix, to get better at. You're supposed to have 2 years to do those things. But some of the things that they said we had to be done by this year, then we're putting in place some of those things to get things going. Okay? Yes, so we are working towards that, and we do have our accreditation. Yes. Okay? And that's K through 12. Yes, that's everybody. Okay? And I noticed a lot of people mentioned check some websites. We Are Teachers is a good website. They always have great ideas. That's what I always send you. They send me things and I send them on to you because I just think they're great. Some of their ideas are fantastic. Some of the others, Teach for the Heart. She is a Christian school teacher herself in a same type setting that we're in. So she understands lack of resources and how to deliver a message in a godly way. And she's got some great ideas. One of the things that she just posted this last week was about doing Bible quizzing. You know, that used to be a big thing, Bible quizzing, and you don't see that much anymore. But the kids, you know, your students, they love competitions, whether it's boys beat the girls or whether, you know, whatever, you know. And so any kind of competition like that you can add is fantastic. Discovery Education, you have that through the summer, it's my understanding. We are paid through the summer, so you can go online to Discovery Ed and be pulling off some things that you can use during the school year and preparing for your lessons. Pictures, little short videos, especially with you older grades, with science, with history. It makes so much of a difference if they can see it. And so, but you don't want to show a movie that's going to last the whole period because then that eats up all your time. Plus, they lose focus. This generation, they don't stay tuned very long. They want short and sweet, to the point. That's it. So you can, Discovery Ed, they've got all kinds of videos that are 5 minutes, 7 minutes, some of them 8, 10 minutes, that's going to be on a certain topic you'll study. And so go check some of those out so you'll be prepared for them during the school year. Also PBS. PBS was the one who had the little puzzle I had up there today for you. So great bell ringer stuff or any kind of things. It was all about sharing Memorial Day with your students and how to teach. And I thought, sorry, we'll send it to them at home because we're not going to be here for them, right? But there's all kinds of things that you can do. Pinterest, oh my gosh, Pinterest diva, that's me. Let me tell you, I love Pinterest. You can find some of the greatest ideas on there, on Pinterest. Teachers have all kinds of boards posted, whether it's bulletin boards or whether it's lessons. There's all kinds of interesting things on Pinterest. There's everything you can imagine, yes.
Especially math, like
Yes.
fractions and things like
So if you're not on Pinterest, sign yourself up and check that out. Does anybody else have any other special websites that they use that they'd like to share for the group so that they can get use of it?
Scholastic has a lot of good stuff.
Scholastic.
And in fact, I forgot to mention this, it just popped into my mind. I started a summer reading program with my kiddos.
Yes.
So that they'll be reading during the summer, and Scholastic has a summer reading program that they can go online. I signed all the kids up with a username and password, gave it to them before we got out of school to go to do Scholastic's program during the summer, so I can monitor their reading during the summer. So there's a way to set up I think it was monthly or maybe it was bi-weekly email that will go home to them to remind them to do their reading. I told all the kids that, and I'll be able to email to remind them as well. But I told them that if they read 10 hours during the summer, then they'll get a special prize from me at the return of school. And I'll be able to monitor that because I want them to be fresh on reading so that when they go to Ms. Dobson, they're
Sure.
not in this fog of I haven't read anything all summer long.
Sure.
2.5 months. So Scholastic has a lot of great things on there as well.
That's excellent. There's so many resources out there for us to use. Yes.
I don't know if y'all have heard of freerice.com.
Free.
Free rice.
R-I-C-E?
Like eating right, yeah. And so
It really does give free rice.
it does give free rice to underprivileged, like
Cool.
third world countries.
Uh-huh.
And it's got art, like art history, geography, math, vocabulary, and there's different categories. You can kind of tweak it to your age group. Some are very, very difficult.
Awesome. And check out Khan Academy. I know you hear me say them all the time, but I learned math on there, so it's got to be good. I'm telling you, if I can learn math. K-H-A-N, I believe. K-H-A-N, Khan Academy. And the guy does the lessons on the board, and then they give you extra problems to work. But stay current yourself. And I know when summer comes as teachers, that's the first thing you want to do is just like put the school books down and not do a thing. And I get that, and you need that time. But then when there comes the time where you're getting bored and you're thinking about some other stuff, think about things you can do in the classroom that can help you next year. Because this is the time that you have where you're not under pressure to get lessons done and all those other things that you have to do during the school year. Yes, ma'am.
I know Ms. Bucket and cross-curriculum. She tells me about when they're going to study Eastern Europe,
Uh-huh.
Russia and stuff, which is like so foreign for our kids. So that's a great unit there about the Russian composer.
Excellent. Yes.
And I really invite you guys, let me know what you're doing at certain, like first grade, they have a reader that's music. wish you guys would let me know, because the more cross-curriculum I can do, the better it's for the kids.
Sure. That makes a big difference for them. That's excellent. This year, we also did a lot of work in our teams. You had a team with the people that you were paired with in your grade level. If you had another grade level, I know 5th and 6th grade you did not, so you guys paired up some of the times too. Did you feel like on Tuesday mornings having your level meetings worked well? I felt like it was good to try to do something before school rather than after school, because everybody has so many constraints on their time. And some of you, I felt like, and I walked through and checked, and most of the time when I checked, people were working and utilizing that. And I did get work back from the majority of you, but some of you did not turn work back into me. And the topics I gave you were usually things Advanced Ed gave us. So it's things that I need to have. So if there's some of those things that you did not complete, I need to make sure that you get that. But please work together with your teammate. That's why you're a team. You know, we need each other. We help each other out. What is it that it says in, I'm thinking Colossians, and I know that's not it. It's in Ecclesiastes, where it says 2 are better than 1, right? Because they have a good return for their labor. 2 people working together can accomplish so much more. And that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, so keep in mind your teammate. That's somebody that you're supposed to be working with, and work together. Don't close them out, but stay together. Also, we want to do some fun things this summer if you have time. I know that everybody's on vacations and going different places. I personally will be on the Frio for 2 weeks, where my phone does not work once I get to Sabinal. Sorry. Leave me a message. I'll get to it when I go into Uvalde, 30 miles away, every couple days. But I've talked to Ms. Patton about maybe giving us a cooking lesson so we can learn to make her cinnamon rolls or something like that. I thought that would be fun. Maybe we'll have our Zumba class or something. If there's anything fun going on that you hear of, I know Miller Outdoor Theater, we were going to try to go see a musical one day, and it was terrible rain, but they do those throughout the summer. Maybe we can all get together and go do some things like that. I highly recommend the escape room in Kingwood. That was really fun. Even though we didn't escape, we were close, but it was good. And there's lots of things like that out there. So if you hear of something good, let me know, and we'll see if we can organize a group to go. All right? Does anybody have anything else they want to share? Mr. Howe?
I want to share.
Come on.
We're having some difficulty with our, I don't know how much some, with the tutoring schedule. We have all of our tutors identified,
Yes.
and all of them have been signed for people.
Yes.
Okay, now it's you that calls the parent and sets the schedule.
Correct.
And I think it was you that told them the office would call. You got a call from the parents that you told them that the office was going to call them. But I just want to clarify that, to make sure that you call and set up the one of yours.
Okay. We'll check, and I'll make sure you have a copy of the list and who's tutoring which one, so we have those. Okay. Is there anything else, Mr. Howell, that you can think of?
No,
That's it, tutoring? Okay. Okay.
And as of right now, there's no mention of summer, that what is it called? Retreat.
Oh, teachers retreat. Have we worked at all on teachers retreat, Mr. Howell?
no, sir.
Okay.
Guys,
That's
the only
not,
thing I can, the reason some things are on hold, so to speak, is because of our enrollment.
sure.
And it's increasing, but it's not at the level of our 300 above that we had last year. But that doesn't usually come until right at the end. But, so with everything as it is, we're gonna slow down on some
Okay.
things.
I just
Now-
planning for this,
No,
planning.
and we may have it, but we may not, just
No-
because
no
of that.
problem.
Now, there's one of our teachers, who has Evan Roy. Evan Roy's grandmother is Sylvia Boulding, and she's an author, and she gave me a book the other day, they went to graduation. I don't know why she gave it to me, I thought it was from Evan's grandmother. But she does conferences and speaking and motivational speaking and something. We may just, if nothing else, we may just have someone come in like we have before and just do something on campus. I think it's better when we go off campus if we can, but we may not can because of the finances. So if we don't, guys, that's the reason. It's not because we want to not stop doing them, it's because it's just financially a little bit tight. So that's what we pray for, is God will, and He will. He'll send exactly what we need.
True, very true. So if and when something comes about, yeah, it's just kind of open. I know Ms. Ms. Hobson, where they had the party for Rachel this last weekend, she had to pay for all these admissions. And so they gave her a free pass for so many people. And she was saying, if you know anybody that wants to go out there, it's Lake Houston, wherever y'all went for your thing, for fishing.
Oh, the Wilderness Park.
Wilderness Park, and it's not that far. And there's camping facilities, and there's, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm making y'all go camping, but there's a facility, like a group dining hall, where you could meet and have a meeting and maybe have picnic or something like that. So maybe we'll think of something like that, and as opposed to going away and spending a night in a hotel or
Well,
something.
remember I told you when we were there, they told us the season pass for the entire school wouldn't be that much. I can't remember now what it was.
Yes,
but-
and she bought 2 season passes,
Yeah.
so she can get in like
Yeah.
100 people or
Yeah.
something. So we'll work on that. That may be an idea. We'll see. We'll see. All right, anybody have anything else they want to add, or anything you feel like we haven't discussed that you want to discuss? Everybody feel like they got it all out? We good? I think it was a great year, and I just want y'all to know how much we appreciate all that you guys do. I know it's a lot. I know that we ask a lot of you, and we appreciate all that you do. And we appreciate all the extra effort that you put into. And I know sometimes it's just hard to get up and get out of the bed some mornings. But you know, getting you here and getting you working with these kids, you see the difference that it makes in the lives of these students. And I know for me in my office, being able to have a student come in to be able to share the Lord with them or talk to them about things that are bothering them and be able to share and to work with them, it's been such a blessing. This year especially. I think I've had more interesting conversations with students than ever before. It was great. So I can tell that things that you're teaching, they're learning, and they're getting that information, and it's making them think. And that's what we're supposed to do, is to challenge them to think, right? It's not just about spouting knowledge, but they've got to take that knowledge and utilize it, and that's what we want, okay? So,
But is there something,
mhm.
and I know we can discuss it when we come back, but for dismissal,
Yes,
we're gonna have to realign out, because all of upper elementary is out there, and there's no one to walk 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
right,
So we need to realign the people that are out there.
right,
You know, we need to have maybe a middle group person, a lower group person.
right.
And an upper group person.
Okay.
So that, you know,
Right.
because it was a hard discipline.
Well, and I know having just one 5th grade and one 6th grade, that automatically took 2 people away. And depending on Mr. Howell or myself, you know, if we're called into the office or something that's going on, we don't get out there. So everybody has to work to get those kids out to those cars.
Yeah, maybe if we can just have like,
Everybody.
you know, an upper elementary person out there and then maybe like a mid and then a lower. You know, because you've got 2 callers and a traffic person.
Right,
So
right.
if, you know, one from each level, that would sure help.
Sure, okay. I think that's a great
And
idea.
I'll be back for first semester.
Yeah,
Okay.
second semester it hurts though. when you
All
have
hands
to-
on deck, yes, all hands on deck. It's vitally important. Well, it's been a great year. I think it's been a great year. It went very, very fast. I will say that. Usually when it goes fast, that means things aren't dragging, there's not a problem. Yes, ma'am.
One last thing I want to say. The night of kindergarten graduation, as I was trying to make my way down that hallway, this lady, I'm sure she was a grandmother, she stopped me, I've never seen her before, tears in her eyes, and she said, what you all do for these students is just wonderful. I mean, her body expressed more than her words, and she kept talking about how all of us together, you know, are providing for these kids and giving these kids. I was really touched by that.
That's awesome. And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, and because she stopped me,
Right.
meant it was for everybody, as
Right.
opposed to just talking to their teacher.
Sure.
Which is important too, but I felt that was for all of us to hear,
That's good.
how we're touching lives.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, for those of you that need to go, go. Those of you who don't, I'm going to put on some Go Noodle for